that time of the year again where we have the opportunity to slow down and reflect on this year. That time where we heavily look and acknowledge our transformation, our growth, the challenges that we may have been through, some important learning lessons, and how they all worked hand in hand to shape us to who we are today. So here's what I like to do to say goodbye to the current year and welcome the new one with an open mind and open heart. In this video, I'll be bringing you along the journey of making one last drawing of 2024 to commemorate and affirm all that has happened this year and set positive intentions for the next. It's crazy to look back at some of the work that you've made over the last few years, and this one really inspired me on reflections. But for this drawing, I really wanted to focus on affirmations, since reading these daily have changed my life. So I took some time to write down some of my favorites, and why don't we make an artwork based on these? I personally have always been fascinated with letter form, and throughout the years, I've been loving incorporating it into my sketches, into my artworks, as I find them working beautifully with one another. A daily practice that I like to incorporate into my life, whether going through hardships, challenges, blessings, and/or celebrations, is incorporating the power of I am statements. These actually hold a great amount of beautiful power. Repeating these positive affirmations and reading them out loud can help reprogram the subconscious and replace negative self-talk with empowering beliefs. To communicate their strength, I place them right up top at the very center of the page, and they're going to be leading in the I to all the other statements and affirmations that are going to form out the rest of the drawing. This year was the year that I really felt like I took a step inward and I looked at myself as a human, as a woman, as a person, and just really stepped into my truest nature. This year was the year that I felt like I stepped into the dance of life and danced with all of the things that were happening. All of the new creations, all of the new adventures. It was all definitely a delicate dance and something that I had to just go with the flow with. So to commemorate that and to symbolize that, I wanted to include a figure in the center of this page, as if she's dancing and reaching up into the light. And after thinking about this quite a bit, I chose the body language to be quite delicate and graceful. And to symbolize the raw nature of it all, I wanted to keep this piece in graphite and have the figure and the typography, all of the words, working in unison as one. For the composition itself, I wanted to have the words below the I am, and I wanted to hand letter each word as I find it extremely therapeutic. This year I had the opportunity to do many things completely out of my comfort zone. Many challenges came along the way, but there was nothing that we couldn't handle this year, of course. So I wanted to conclude the words love and light, something that I stand by and live by, at the very top, and the other is to surround. Each piece I make, I try to set an intention to have something that challenges me. So here I wanted to find different shapes and different flows in the hair and in the shadow shapes of the arms. So throughout the drawing, you might notice me carving out more darker shapes for some of the flows and then softening them with a little bit of a blending stump and then coming back in with my darkest Palomino black wing and adding the darkest darks there. As always, I'm reminded that everything is connected because as soon as I was drawing in the word light, the sun was just beautifully setting and creeping into the page, created the most beautiful lighting that I have ever seen. As the year is coming to a close, I also like to remind myself to keep in touch with divine timing. So, right under the word love is divine. And to also fill up some more of that movement, I added a little element of design and continued filling in the lovely affirmations. And the next one I filled in is I am safe. As I complete this drawing, I invite you to read these out loud to yourself and feel how they feel in your body. And think about how they make you feel in general. So with that, let's keep going. The next phrase I added was I am aligned. And as I continue adding the next words, a quick thank you to our sponsors, Squarespace. Speaking of alignment, I made sure to grab the ruler to check all the proportions and make sure everything is in line. Now for Squarespace, with this all-in-one platform, you really don't need to do much aligning because of their award-winning templates ready to go. And when it comes to building your online presence and your website, it makes it that much easier, that much more presentable, and my favorite, super user-friendly. Updating your website has never been easier with some simple drags and drops, and this year marks another year that Squarespace has been a supporter of the channel, so I'm super grateful to be working with one another. Now, in case you want to switch up the template and get even more creative on your website, you can do that as well. And speaking of trying new things, especially for the new year, head over to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/JessCarp for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. As the years go on, I can't really help but think how everything played out thus far. As someone who is a full-time artist and someone who puts themselves out on the internet to connect with each and every one of you, to help in any way that I can, and to create some sort of impact out there. I want to remind you that the journey is not an easy one. There's going to be hardships, there are going to be ups and downs, but it is up to us to embrace them all, to connect them with one another, to know that they all are connected indeed, and do relatively play off of one another. Something that I learned this year is the relationship that we create with these moments. When the unfamiliar arrives, whether that be challenges or the most utter amount of love, stay curious in that moment. Keep asking your questions on who am I? Let your curiosity and love and passion for things drive you in the next year. Pretend you are a kid who is so curious about what it is that you're doing that you just can't help but figure it out, because you will. And in the moments where things get just a little hard, remember my voice and remember me saying that it is possible. We were all given a gift, a little light of magic. And with every moment, every year, every month, we have a chance and an opportunity to find whatever that is. We have an opportunity to connect with one another, to see how we help one another find out what that is. As this year comes to a close and we welcome in the next year, 2025, may you be reminded that you are gifted and that you are loved and that you are enough and you are doing your best. Set the uttermost incredible intentions of gratitude coming this next year and finish off this year with some gratitude. Why not, right? For the main grounding word, and one that's going to be sitting at the very bottom of the composition, I decided to add grateful in this grand typography that I had so much fun hand lettering. And for those of you who are wondering, I am referencing this book right here. I'll have it linked below, but it has a bunch of different typography inside. Many of you have asked about this on my channel, but it's just super fun to study. Lots of different shapes and a bunch of different time periods here in this book. I actually mixed every word to be a different font to match the feel of the word itself in this piece. Now, wherever you are, ask yourself, what are you grateful for today? Before this year is over, I want to extend and express my gratitude to you. Whether you recently found me or you've been following me along this journey for the past few years, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you from all of my heart. I'm so grateful to have you here, and your support means the absolute world. And I am so excited to see what the next year brings for each and every one of us. As I finish up this piece, I am so delighted with the way that it turned out. It is now a print on my website. This is the last drawing and last piece of 2024, so if you want to pick one up, it is up there for grabs. And with that, cheers to another year here on YouTube together.